All right, good morning, guys. Dakota back from the live stream. The date is April 30th, 2021. And today we're going to be doing a little bit something different. If you usually hop on these calls, what I usually do, I hop on live stream at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and go through charts that I'm paying attention to and any charts that you guys request, right? Which I'll still be doing that. I'll be doing it towards the end, right? But first part, I have someone special on the line today. On a Zoom call, we're going to be going through news and trying to learn some things from it together. Basically, want to take some time to learn together. But before we even get into that, right? Before I even introduce my mans, right? You got to listen. The most important thing you got to do, right? You have to. I'm telling you right now. This is what's going to bring you profits in the market. This is how every successful trader got profits in the market. You have to hit the like button, all right? You got to hit the like button and then go hit the subscribe and notification bell to keep up with future content and future live streams. Believe that's it. Let's go ahead and get into this. So, my man Jerry, he has been trading for a little over a year now, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, and we've been talking since last year. He reached out to me and we kind of connected, and basically we're just developing together and trying to learn some things together. All right. Anything you want to say before we get into this?
No, happy to be here in the stream, man. First time. So yeah, good to be here. Happy to see what we can figure out together with this new stuff.
Sounds good, bro. All right, let me make sure everything is settled, right? All right, perfect. Okay, you can't see my screen yet, can you?
No.
I got you. There you go. All right. So, have you been diving into news yet?
Not like deep into news, but you know, I try to make it part of my my daily routine, to just kind of scan the news to see what's going on. I have a fair idea of what events I like to pay attention to, but no, I haven't gone too deep into it.
Yeah, me either. Like that daily plan sheet, which I gotta send you. I forgot to do that. That's basically the extent of my news knowledge, right?
Right.
I just come here to look at what's happening or what's potentially happening throughout the day, and I'll read it, see how it's gonna affect the market. But I haven't really looked into the articles and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But so what I usually do, I come on here at about 6 a.m. and then I look at any news that's happening after 6 a.m. and I go ahead and put it in the daily sheet and link these things to it. But I'd never really click on them. I always plan to go back later from the daily plan and click on it and read it. But
Yeah.
I haven't really set aside the time to do it just yet.
All right. Okay. You have your pairs, your currency filtered or something like that.
Yeah, I have it filtered.
All right. Okay. What about? Okay. And is that because you only pay attention to Euro, USD, and JPY news, or?
I pay attention to. I have Euro, Pound, Yen, and USD. I don't really care about Swiss too much, but just all the pairs that are on my list at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
So, is that pretty much what you do? Pretty much.
Yeah. So I don't even go that deep to link my stuff to the trades that I'm taking or anything like that. I just so I pay attention to all news. So whether it's Canadian news, NZD news, odd news, I don't care, because you know they're all on my trading list. And what I do if I know I'm about to place a trade, I'd look for only red folder news. If there's any red folder news coming out within the next 10 to 15 minutes of me entering a position, probably half an hour, then I'll probably hold off a little bit, unless the technical entry is so crystal clear that news is probably going to push the trade into my direction. But because I stick on the higher time frames, like the daily H4 time frames, I just rather wait for the crazy news spikes to die down and then get involved. So yeah, it's more of like a scanning tool for me, just to make sure there's nothing ludicrous coming up before I'm about to enter.
Okay, got you. Before something interesting that I found, like with like red news, like red filter news, is that about an hour or 2 hours before, at least, like, I haven't intentionally kept track of this, but this is just something that I noticed on the side. But an hour or 2 hours before, like, my entry signal will come, and then like it will push because of that news that comes later. And I like that's one of the reasons that I can't thought of the idea that I talked about, basically figuring out the major news that's happening throughout the week, or to figure out what days are mandatory to be on the charts, because that's when the charts are most likely going to move or have a high chance of moving.
Yeah, that's interesting, because I think earlier this week, like on Wednesday, was it Wednesday? Whenever the FOMC happened. Yeah, Wednesday. That exact scenario happened to me, right? Like Wednesday was the day I took off, and had I been on the charts, I actually got my entry signals like a couple hours before the news actually released, and that would have resulted in some really nice trading opportunities. So yeah, I think you might be onto something.
Yeah, love to figure it out though. Okay, so we talk like when we talk. So like, what if we do this? Like, basically hop on this call and like go through the news and stuff like that. Like, how would we make it so it's beneficial and not just like we look at numbers type thing? Mm-hmm. How can we make it so we learn something?
That's interesting. Well, I mean, what we could do is we identify I think we could identify like the upcoming releases that obviously seem important to us, right? And just start recording it. So we'll take note of it, and then you're mentioning about those entry signals, right? So we can start paying attention to those particular pairs like an hour, 2 hours before the news release, to see what type of activity is happening on the pair, if the entry signals actually, come on up, even if they are, if there are any kind of valid trades happening on those pairs. And then we just kind of, I think we just track it. We just make note of it. Do it for like a month, a couple of weeks, a month, 2 months, or something like that, and then see the result of it, right? That's probably one way to go about doing it.
Yeah, you kind of just gave me an idea as far as it's it's with the Google sheet. I love Google Sheets, apparently. Let me grab my pen real quick though. Basically, the major reoccurring news that happen on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
Basically, keep note of those and see how they're affecting the market, and seeing like, okay, this is where a prime opportunity is coming. This is where I have to do something, or most likely I'm going to have to do something.
Mm-hmm. Because you obviously have your usual suspects, right? So you have your CPI data, your FOMC. It's the other one that's happening next week. Non-farm payroll. Yeah, it's kind of been a non-event for the last couple of months. But
yeah, pretty much all year, like nothing's happened on that.
Yeah.
But I think that would be a really good idea. Keep track of it and then figure out like which is the prime news to pay attention to, and which it is more likely to just be disregarded for that moment.
Yeah.
And did you want to do this you want to do this on every live stream, or just every morning?
Yeah, we could probably kick off the week with it. And if there's like if there's a change in the plan for the week, because I think we pretty much know what's coming up this week, right? And then if there's any kind of sudden changes or something, then I can just hop back on for the next live stream to kind of talk through the changes.
Mm-hmm. So like on let's say Monday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say we hop on Monday, talk about all this, and like lay out the full week and basically develop a plan from that point.
Yep.
All right. Sounds good. All right. So anything else you want to talk about on this, or plan on?
No, we could save it for Monday. Kind of
Okay.
go through it in some more detail.
Sounds good, bro. Also, anybody that's on right now, Jerry, you let me forget. You have a YouTube channel, right?
I do. Yeah, I do.
The Aspiring Trader, and yeah, I'll do it. Called The Aspiring Trader. He's been doing it for a while now. Do you want to like give a breakdown of what you do on there?
Yeah, so basically I decided to start the channel about 4 months ago, like at the start of the year. To basically just track my journey as a trader and keep myself a little bit more accountable with the trades I'm taking. So I tend to just record myself doing what I do anyway. So, every Sunday I'll sit down and do a weekly outlook. And then every Saturday I'll kind of recap the trades that I took, or like the trading week, to see like how I performed and what actually set up in the market and stuff. And then if I'm doing like some back testing, or if I've learned anything, then I'll just create a little video and slap it on there. But yeah, it's been fairly new to me, this whole YouTube thingy, but it's been helping me a lot, keeping myself on track, keeping myself accountable. So yeah, feel free if you guys want to go check it out. Feel free to do so. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Also, subscribe to this channel. Keep up with this content, because, like, as he gets better, you probably want to learn from some sauce from him. Like, I've already learned a lot from him, right? I've learned a lot from him, and I'd say he really holds nothing back in these calls. Like, he's really being extremely transparent with his process. So yeah, definitely go check that out. So,
yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. And if you want to mark up at the end after I get through my stuff, just let me know. You can just comment it or just let me know, all right?
Sounds good.
All right. So, now we get into what I usually do on the live streams. Marking up my charts and marking up any charts that I requested. I know we have one pair that we're tracking, odd Swiss. And we also have, the one that I pay attention to all the time, dollar yen. Right. And we also have my face cam not working today, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. Let's start on EURJPY. EURJPY actually took some action on this today off the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, I had a Alright, I had a 1-hour trend line here, and basically my plan was, if this 1-hour trend line gets broken, I'll go ahead and close it. And the way that I labeled that break was a 4-hour candle closing below the trend line, came came to the charts basically right at the close of this this candle that I have my mouse on right now, and closed it right here, about at that level. Let me do that. All right, and yeah, so this trade's closed at about 187. I closed at 187. It says 188 here though. 187 pips, and I'm like, my personal opinion, my personal outlook on this, I like to see this continue up. I would like to see it continue up and move up correctively and get to this area before giving us that correction. But one thing to note, I think I put this in the last screenshot that I posted of this yesterday, was that there's a reversal candle here. And in my system, I look for reversal patterns, not necessarily reversal candles. And it's something, I can't say I've noticed it a lot. Okay. I can't say I noticed it a lot, but I've noticed it a few times, especially on GU and EJ, where I will catch the impulse and then at the top of the impulse a reversal candle will come and then price will generally reverse, right? So something to look into and maybe possibly add to my system. But yeah, but the next thing that I'm looking for price to give me a correction, possibly give me another bullish setup to buy up to that level again. All right, and if that happens, I'm actually interested in seeing this level actually be broken, because ideally in this situation I would like to price, like I said, continue forming a ascending channel and reverse at this point. But again, as long as we're in this uptrend, like this daily uptrend, I'm gonna continue looking for buys long term. Right, hope that makes sense. If you guys have any questions over that, just go ahead, let me know in the live chat. And let's go to the next pair, right? Oh, no. Let's do the full markup. All right. Let's reset that, delete that, go to monthly. Okay, for those of you that don't know my strategy, it is real simple. I box price in with horizontal lines and trend lines, and once I box price in and figure out the overall direction that I want to see the market go, or figure out the overall direction the market is most likely to go, all right, I look for an impulse, which tells me the direction the market wants to go. After an impulse, I look for a correction, which confirms that the market wants to go in that direction of the impulse. And after that, I look for a continuation, which is essentially the move that I'm actually looking to capitalize off of. That's where I want to be in the market. That's the move, that's the position that I want to be holding, right, and capturing. All right, same thing upside down. If I have an impulse down, the market's telling me it wants to go down. If I have a correction, confirming that it wants to go down, and then got that continuation, which is the move I want. So let's delete that. Doing top-down analysis starting on the monthly time frame, I'm going to use horizontal lines to box it in. Top and bottom, we have an uptrend right there. I'm going to draw it on the daily because I know on the weekly it will have to be readjusted. All right, I'll see a few levels here of interest, just major levels where price has made reversals, and every single line I draw is an area. It's not a line. It's not a specific price point. It's an area, right? Those are just areas where price makes a decision typically, right? That's where I'm looking for price to actually make a decision, whether it's going to be strong to the upside or break down to the downside. Keep it simple, right? So we have an uptrend here, and we see price is boxed in. If price hits that top line, we're looking for it to go down to this trend line. If price breaks through this trend line, we're looking for a correction, and we're looking for price to continue down to that demand area, right? Yeah, but right now we just have an impulse. After every single impulse, and you wait for a correction. So waiting on a correction right now. Let's go down to the 4 hour. And I will consider this a 4 hour setup. And look for something like this. Alright, so that's the setup that I'll be looking for next week, probably. Yep, probably next week, over the next few weeks, because we could just go into a long consolidation phase here and price just chills out here for a second before giving us that next push. If it does actually break through the trend line, I will start looking for sales, and again looking for sales down to this demand zone down here. But that's pretty much it on EURJPY. Let me double check to see if I sent that out. Yes, I did, so we're all good. I sent out everything today, right? GU, there's nothing $. So yeah, I sent out everything. All right, let's go to pound dollar. Okay, pound dollar. It's basically what I've been just thought process throughout. Yesterday I saw H1 setup, and I said it was a potential day trade. I personally didn't take it. I wasn't willing to take it because I was looking for price to scale down further, or I saw price had a pretty strong potential to scale down further to 61. And that's what I'm actually looking for right now. Today it looks like the pattern actually failed with that bearish candle right there. Considering that a pattern failure because it didn't reject at the area that the pattern usually would. So I'm looking for price to scale down to this point, which should hit my stop loss or my stop profit, and give a 10-to-1 opportunity here. Now, in this situation, like, it's not for this position here. The reason I'm not closing it, I don't have a legitimate reason to close. All right, like, this is all based off theory. I'm waiting to see if price gets to this point, but there's no real pattern telling me to get out of this position just yet, so that's why I'm still holding and haven't closed it. What is this? And that's about it. All right. let's go and do the full markup on this. Oh, you know what? I just realized something. Yeah, you guys' ears were about to go crazy. All right, cool. All right, now let's get to it. Delete all that. Start on the monthly time frame, and gonna go ahead box price in. We have uptrend on lower time frame. Gonna go down to the daily time frame, just because I know like the weekly just gonna waste our time right now. Oh, my fault. I lied. It's the wrong pair for that. We have an area right there that's of interest, right? Price just rejected that area. If price comes down to it, we want to pay attention to it again. Now let's go down to the daily. Don't skip time frames. Don't follow me. Always check every time frame. Okay, so here we had a bullish pattern, and then price broke through it. We have another bullish pattern forming right outside of it. And that is why I'm looking for this to come down one more time, and then looking for it to continue up at least to this high up here. That's the primary target. Secondary target is going to be that supply zone up higher. All right. Let's go down lower and delete all these lines, or at least the unnecessary lines. So now that we have this impulse, we have a potential correction forming. Gonna go ahead, draw fibs, and see what level I want to see this reject off of. 61.8 looks nice, which is right at that same level, right? Which technically that wouldn't be as deep as I personally would like to see it, but that's the area I got to pay attention to. The next area that I would look to enter at is down here, and this is really the area that I have set on my active chart. But we'll have to pay attention to this. All right, so a little over a 10-to-1. All right, it's a really nice opportunity. If it sets up perfectly, it better capitalize off of it. At least I better capitalize off of it. All right, I better be in the position if price gets down to that level. Whether it wins or loses, I better take this no matter what. That's dollar Swiss. Nope, that's pound dollar. Hey man, All right, next we're gonna go to dollar Swiss. Sammy, how you doing? So, if you guys do want all these screenshots and basically keep track of the charts I'm paying attention to, you can join the Discord server. The link to that is in the description. All you gotta do is click that, click join, and you're in. Get access to everything. All right. So for dollar Swiss, been tracking 1 hour setups, and this is basically the positions we've been taking throughout the week. Took this yesterday. I really want price to break this low here, right? I'm really looking for the low to be broken, and just have to continue to wait until that happens. I have alert set at that level, but it's really depleting. I want to use a different phrase, but the phrase that I'm coming up with is basically depleting the confidence in that the move will play out. But there's no reason to get out yet. But yeah, go ahead and ask any question, bro. You're good. We were all new at one point. We all got to ask those beginner questions. Okay, as you're typing that out, I'm gonna go ahead and start the full markup on dollar Swiss, because right now there's nothing new here. So let's go. Oh, I chose the wrong button again. Alright, so like we did on the other ones, boxing price in. Start on the monthly, working our way down. Can you tell me what is the loss in target, the short position, and the long position? So many traders using it. The loss in target, the short position. Are you talking about this tool here? So let me change it to default, or let me save this real quick. Okay, if you're talking about this tool, this is what's allows you to keep track of your positions, like the positions that you hold, right? The red is obviously you losing money, the green is obviously you making money, right? And then that middle black line is your entry area, right? So for a long position means you're buying the market, means you're looking for the market to go up, and that's what you would use this tool for long. For the short position, it's just the opposite. It's for selling opportunities, right? Okay, and this is like the default settings, that's why I just changed it. So let's say for instance that I want to buy the market here and I'm looking for the market to go up. I'll put it here, I'll put where my stop loss is going, basically where I think the market's probably, like if the market gets to this point, it's probably where I'm not going to win the trade anymore, or the trade's going to lose, or the trade's not going to work, that's what I meant to say. And then your target's whatever your target is. Does that make sense? And was that like, that was your question, right? Also, one thing I didn't touch on, when you enter, it does track how much in profit or loss you are, like visually. So you enter here, your stop loss, let's say it's here, and then your target's up to that black line that we have at the top. It will track it with the like shadowed green. Is that how you say it? Something like that. And if it loses, it will do the opposite, right? Track it with the red. All right. Okay, so now right now we have if you remember from the beginning of the call, I talked about basically my strategy. You have your impulse telling you the direction the market wants to go. Then you have your correction confirming that the market wants to go in that direction. Then we're looking for the continuation to actually capitalize on, all right? So let's delete that and see if we can identify that within this downtrend here. And again, with this, I talked about this in the last two streams. I am looking for dollar Swiss to eventually form a bullish pattern. Right now, this is correct movement scaling down. It's let's say it's trickling down, right? It's trickling down, right? And I like to see price actually eventually break this trend line and push up for a short period of time, right? I like to see a few more waves before looking for that buying opportunity just now. But right now, I see a impulse here, and after that impulse, waiting on a corrective pattern. Once that corrective pattern forms, I'll look to enter for a sell, right? And keep on doing that until that trend line breaks. And that's the area that I'm interested in. So that was my last, that's the last pair that I'm paying attention to. Again, all those charts are sent to the Discord server, right? So, and before I get into the requested pairs that were requested earlier this week, I'll go ahead and answer a few questions. What did you do when you were a beginner, like just start 1 to 4 months? Jeez. That was a rough time, honestly. So when I first started off, I just started researching a ton of free stuff, Investopedia, YouTube videos and stuff like that. And then when I got probably like my second month, I got involved in like the network marketing company IML, which I don't recommend joining. After that, because I wanted to basically learn something from them, and at least my friend that was in it, he was showing that he was making progress. All right, and then I got a mentor my third month, and that's where I really like started to get it. But I would say the most helpful thing that my mentor showed me was to mark up 25 charts every week. All right, mark up 25 charts every week. Once you understand how the market is structured, when you get familiar with the charts, that's what you really want to do in those first couple months. You want to get as familiar with this stuff as possible to where it doesn't look like a foreign language to you. All right, and obviously you need some structure behind that, and that's basically what market structure is, right? Understanding that aspect of it. Now, when I decided to mark up 25 charts like every single day for the first 2 months after he signed that to me, because like I was in college, I had a little bit of free time, and every single moment that I could spend on this, I would. And that's what really helped me within those first 4 months, just marking up the charts and getting used to it. One more thing, Mark Douglas, listen to him a lot. I believe his book Trading in the Zone is like free on YouTube, or at least posted there. Okay, let's go to Odd Swiss. been tracking this for like a week and a half, something like that, and it looks like price would hit SL. So price is scaling down lower. The next area and like has passed our entry levels there. The next level that I would look to enter at is this area, and this was the original prime area in the first place. But willing to take that opportunity, I would be willing to take that opportunity again anytime. Let's go to blue. Thank you. Alright. And this oh yeah, this is the 30. It was a 40-to-1 opportunity. Yeah, this is the 40-to-1 opportunity. This is a really nice setup. Okay, I'm definitely gonna be tracking this still going into the next few weeks. Okay, so I'm looking for price to get down to this level. If price reaches that level, this is where I would look to enter, and I might take it in my secondary account because I like this setup. Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah, I really like this setup, so we'll be tracking this. Now the next and I believe final pair, unless anyone else has any requested pairs that they want me to go over before the call-ins. I will say before you type it out, I don't do gold. Alright, I don't do gold, I don't do US30. I used to do indices on here, but I just stopped doing it because for indices I day trade them in like 15-minute time frame type thing. So that's what. Alright, and then dollar yen, same thing as we talked about last time. Alright, just looking for it to come down to the bottom. If it doesn't come down to the bottom, whatever, there's no setup. What indicators should I use? Can I I don't use indicators, bro. I don't mess with indicators pretty much at all, at least for this primary strategy. I do have a strategy where I do have indicators, but that's more of a long-term swing trading strategy. But yeah, I don't recommend using it, at least for me. Like for me, I don't like using them. And let me say a reason why. All right, I don't necessarily have a problem with indicators, but I don't have a use for them in my strategy. Right? When I first started, I did have like indicators on my charts because like people were telling me to put indicators on my chart and I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing, and it was just it ended up just cluttering my screen, and I wasn't actually paying attention to actual price, and I was actually paying attention to like indicators that were lagging. Right? They don't give information in a timely manner necessarily, at least the way that I was using it. And yeah, it was kind of, at least the ones that I was using, it's kind of hard to figure out when to be really confident in, and like it doesn't really give a real, how can I say this? The win rate was low. That's what I'm trying to say. The win rate was really low. So you are a trendline master. I am a master in no sense. I focus on market structure. Focus on market structure, box and price in, and like following the trend. But yeah, I've only been trading for 2 years. So yeah, I'm nowhere close to a master yet, bro. Still got a lot of stuff to do, a lot of places and areas in my trading to grow. Like I will say, like halfway through my first year, I thought, okay, once you become a consistently profitable trader, once you get consistent or some type of consistency, you made it, you're good. That's not true. There's always another step. There's always another level to get to. So like you constantly have to be improving, no matter how far you get. Like no matter where you are, you gotta constantly be improving, because everything can change. Anything can happen really within. Okay. Anything can happen within one trade, whether you're using proper risk management or not. A lot of things can happen. How do I get into the structure? I don't know what you mean. Could you say it in a different way? The structure. Oh, you're talking about market structure. How can you learn about market structure? So I'll talk about it every time on these live streams. Where else could you find it? This guy named Clint Million. You can watch one of his Zooms. He breaks it down really simply, and also Terrell Rowland. Those are people that those are two people that I actually learned from, that actually helped me progress. But I will say they are in IML, but I'm not taking anything away from them as far as trading. They're really good traders. Alright, yeah, so any one of those videos, he breaks it down in the beginning of the call, and he's really clear, keeps everything pretty simple. And also Terrell Rowland. Yeah, and he has his own way of explaining it. It's really clear and concise, and I mean, they're 2 hours long, but it's definitely worth it. You're gonna learn a lot within those calls, and pretty much go through as many as you can. Honestly, I'd say of either one of those two. Also, nah, I won't say that. That's fine. I'll say what I was going to say. I was gonna say, like, don't. Yeah, because I do mean this. Don't be blinded by, like, don't be blinded by volatility initially, because a lot of new traders simply get into, like, US30, gold, what else is there? Like, silver, commodity, things like that. Because, honestly, I think they can make money real quickly. Alright? Which is true, you can make a lot of money in those things, but you can also lose a lot of money pretty quickly too. Okay? And the reason that I changed my mind about saying that particularly, or saying don't go with that in particularly, because if you really want to be successful at that and develop as a trader based off within gold or within US30, you can do that, and it's fine with starting off with that. But don't go in with the intention, I'm going to make a shitload of money in this short period of time. I'm going to be a millionaire by the end of the year. Right? And, like, before, this is the last thing I'll say before I end the stream. Like, I've seen a lot of people over the past 2 years that have been able to take, like, $100 to $100,000, or, like, I know someone took $2,000 to about $500,000 within a year or within a few months. But then, like, a few months later, they lost it all because they didn't understand how to maintain the success that they had. They didn't understand how to maintain that aspect, okay? Which a lot of people don't want to hear, but it's the truth, right? You have to be able to maintain and continue losses and things like that. You have to learn that lesson. A lot of people don't learn it until after they get burned by the market, like me, right? But appreciate everybody hopping on. Hope you guys liked the stream today, and I will catch you guys next week.